You can,
So today we have someone very special for ANZAC Day, my dad. Welcome, Roy Paul William Ward. And what are you wearing today?
I'm wearing my medals and Dad's medals. Now, I'll tell you what Dad's medals are. That's Canadian medal, and
Hmm.
then I've got the service medal, defence medal, sorry. And then I've got a France and Germany medal where he flew over France and Germany. And then I've got 3 stars. I've got, the France and Germany star, the Burma star, and the 39 to 45 star. And these are my National Service Medal and Defence Medal.
Uh-huh.
Right, so Dad basically, Dad he joined the RAAF in 1940, and he did his navigation training in Canada. That's that medal there.
Hmm.
And he was seconded then to the RAF. He flew bombers over Germany as a navigator. He then went to Burma and helped to repatriate wounded people back to England.
Mm.
Um, Mum, on the hand, joined the WAF. That's the Women's Royal Air Force. And she was actually employed as a clerk, but on their side, she did professional singing. And
Ah.
she had the opportunity to sing with Nat King Cole when he visited all the troops. And they struck up a friendship. And when he came out to sing in Sydney, Sydney Stadium, I think it was in the 50s or 60s, he said, I'd like to send a cheerio call to Nikki. Now, Mum's maiden name was Henneke, so she got a nickname of Nikki. And anyway, she went backstage and renewed a friendship. The rest of it was really nice.
Mm.
Um, so that's basically Mum and Dad's background.
Mm.
Um, they were married in 1942,
Hmm.
and Mum came out here with me after I was born 3 years later in 1945 on what they call a war bride ship, where a lot of men from Australia married English women,
Yeah.
and they came back to Australia with their children. That was me. Uh, excuse me. The ship, by the way, was called the Dominion Monarch, if you want to hear about that.
Mm.
Um, we stayed with Dad's mother. His father was unfortunately in hospital with a stroke from the time Dad was 8, so he never came out of hospital. He died in there, which is very sad.
Mm.
But anyway, we ended up in a war service home, which was a development built in Guildford for returned servicemen to buy. And it was just a small 2-bedroom 5-row place, but it was on quarter-acre block. They were standard quarter-acre blocks back
Mm.
days.
Mm.
So you had front lawn, backyard, which was great.
Yep.
Excuse me. Um, pardon me. We hang on just for a sec.
Yep.
Sorry. Oh yes, the opportunity for the servicemen was that they could buy the house on a 5% mortgage for 45 years.
Mm.
So they were pretty good terms
Yeah, definitely. Would like
to
that
buy. But
nowadays. Yep. But well,
yeah, to
um,
be
yeah. So, how long did you stay in Guildford in that home?
um, well, basically, I grew up there completely. I got there from the time I was 8,
Yep.
and I grew up there. Went to school, went to high school. Um, I then got an apprenticeship,
Yep.
but from sketches I drew. I didn't have references as such, but
Yep.
I did a lot of sketching at home. I
Mm.
think you might have a copy those somewhere.
Yep.
I haven't got any, but excuse me, I used those as a reference, and I got into a job as an apprentice draftsman,
Mm.
mechanical and structural draftsman. So I
Mm.
was working as an apprentice, and then at that time, in 1965, the National Service Act came into being,
Mm.
and that was for people, men aged, men whose birthday was the 1st of January 1945 onwards. And of course, my birthday was on the 3rd of January, and I just happened to win the lottery,
Okay.
our international service.
What was it
Uh,
like waiting for
but
that message from
oh,
winning the lottery?
I don't know, it came out quickly. It was just out the next day almost.
Oh, okay. You didn't have to wait
So,
long. Mm.
no, not at all. Anyway, I managed to get a 2-year deferment in my apprenticeship so I could finish my studies.
Mm.
So I didn't go into the army until 1967.
Mm.
And I went to Kapooka down in southern New South Wales, Wagga,
Yep.
and I was only there for a couple of weeks, and I was selected after having done psych tests and stuff.
Yep.
I was selected to do officer training.
Mm.
So I was sent to Guyville in New South Wales, in Sydney's west,
Yep.
and started training there. And it was a pretty busy old life. I just tell you, hang on, I just got something written here, so I don't mess it about. Just hang on for a minute. Here we go. Yeah. I continue my apprenticeship. Introduced. Yeah, mainly the National Service Act itself was mainly to assist Allied troops in Vietnam.
Mm.
They were fighting the Viet Cong.
Yep.
It's funny because we were told the Viet Cong were all dressed in black pajamas,
Mm.
which they weren't. No, they were civilians. They lived in their houses.
Yep.
There was no troops like lining up a line to come and shoot at you or anything like that. They'd just come out of their home and bang, you're gone.
Yep.
So you didn't know them. But anyway, I was eventually put in February 67, that's right. And I went to Kapooka and did officer training. Now, my life at Skyville was hectic, it was hard, and it was very disciplined.
Yep.
Our day would start with the sound of a bugle at 6 o'clock. We had to pull the sheets off our bed, stand outside our little with the sheet over our shoulder.
Yep.
And a corporal would come along and inspect us. There were 10 of us in a line of huts.
Mm.
And pardon me, once he approved it, we'd run back into our huts, throw our sheets on the bed, and run down to the communal showers. And we had 3 minutes to shave and shower and get back to our huts. It was pretty
Yeah. Quick.
talk about discipline.
Yeah.
And they inspect you to make sure you've been shaved.
Mm.
So anyway, then you had to make our beds, clean up, get dressed in our uniform with tie, trying to do it. And then off to the mess. We had breakfast, then back to our unit and make the bed, of course, and then clean the place up, make sure our rifle was clean, make sure all the furniture, including the top of the wardrobe.
Oh, wow.
You had to make sure there was no top of the wardrobe.
Yeah.
Because no one told us, but you knew that was going to happen, but we didn't know when. An officer or a sergeant or whatever would come round and inspect individual units with white gloves on.
Oh, my goodness.
Imagine going on the top. White. It was scary up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, after that, we'd go onto the parade ground.
Yep.
And we'd be lined up and we'd be inspected by the officer who was looking after the command of the day. Normally it was the RSL, that's RSM, that's the Regimental Sergeant Major, who was the boss of us. And he'd walk around inspecting And he'd come up to someone and say, "Am I hurting you, soldier?" "I should be. I'm standing on your hair." So that fellow then would be reprimanded, and he would have to do work, extra work, like marching or whatever, as a punishment. We had to get our hair cut every 2 weeks.
Oh gosh, haircut every 2 weeks.
Hair was a bit every two. I mean, we're almost bald.
Yeah.
You know, you ask your mother. Anyway, I just go here. We basically through the day, any day, we did military studies where we studied basically history of our military and also being told about the men in the black pajamas, what have you. We're told about Vietnam, but we weren't told. We were told that Ho Chi Minh was a bad guy. We didn't know. I mean, we knew afterwards that there was a bit more to it. There's politics involved concerning oil and what have you. And we assisted the Americans, but that was that.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically, we did military studies. We did physical training, and that was hectic, I'll tell you. We had in the gym, we had a 20-foot high ceiling, and they had ropes hanging from the gym, and you had to grab hold of those ropes and pull yourself up, not using your feet, just your hands.
Oh my
the
God.
rope was like about that diameter.
Yep.
Now you imagine that. It was so damn tough at the end of it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, so basically, our week consisted of 5.5 days. We'd start at 6 in the morning, we'd finish at 4 in the afternoon, and then we'd have to go around checking we did everything all right. Unit was okay. Our rifle was clean. Our spit polish boots were clean. I call them spit polish. You'd put black polish on your boot, especially on the toe cap, and then you'd lick your finger and you'd rub it all around until it was really sharp.
Oh, that's where that comes from. Oh my gosh. Oh.
That's right. Then you had to try and get black boot polish out of your fingernails.
Oh yes.
Anyway, we did the Monday to Friday 6 to 4. Saturday we finished at midday. Unless you were on punishment and had to be doing marching around the parade ground or something. So you missed out on your afternoon off or your Sunday off. So I used to take advantage of that and often come and stay at mum and dad's place on Saturday afternoon. And sort of socialise weekends and come back to the Skyville on Sunday afternoon. So it was sort of not too bad that way. I mean, you're recovering from all the stuff you'd been through. I could socialise with friends, including your mum. The end bit of training at Skyville was pretty hectic. We had to do, first we had to do a 20-mile march under 6 hours.
Oh, right. Gosh.
With a 90-pound pack on your back.
Oh, yeah.
Now you think about that, how much 90 pounds is, right? Oh, sorry. Should have put it in kilos. But anyway, it's a lot of weight, put it that way.
Yeah.
Basically, you couldn't march with the rest of them if we were falling behind. You had to march at your own pace. Often you used to run a bit too to keep going. But you're running with a 90-pound pack. That really drops you down.
Tough.
Anyway, the other thing I had, which was really debilitating, was living in a trench. I mean, you wouldn't be doing that in Vietnam, but it was part of the old training. We had to do it. You had to dig a trench, 6 foot long, 4 foot deep, 3 foot wide. and had to basically come in, get out, live in that overnight for 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah.
And the last night it poured with rain.
Oh gosh.
So I put my helmet down under my bottom
Yeah.
and my backpack under my head, and
Yeah.
I suspended myself between those two so I wouldn't lay in the water in the trench
Yeah.
because it got water in quite a bit.
Yep.
So anyway, once we got through all that, then that sort of was our our little bit to finishing off. So eventually, then I graduated as a second lieutenant.
Hmm.
Um,
And then what happened? Where did you go?
right then, after that 6 months, I was sent down to Bandiana in Victoria,
Mm-hmm.
where I did my core thing. That's where you go into a particular, like infantry, instrumentation, engineers.
Yep.
They're all different corps.
Yep.
And my corps was RAMI. That's Royal Australian Electrical and Mechanical Engineers.
Yep.
And oh, hang on, I've just got to show you what I look like.
That's your
That was my
Delta
dress gear in Skyville.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very handsome.
And I should have shown you this before. This was Dad. He was a warrant officer in the middle.
Yep. Yep.
You got it?
Long family history. Yep. Yep. Mm.
Yeah, okay. All right. So anyway, I went to Bandiana. I did my core training, which was a month. And I was then sent to Brisbane to Northern Command Workshop,
Mm-hmm.
where basically they were stuff coming back from Vietnam, like small tanks, rifles, instrumentation, all that sort of thing.
Yep.
There was a
Repair and
staff
sent it
there of
back.
110 personnel.
Yep.
Sorry?
You repaired it and sent it back to Vietnam?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the staff there was 110. 60% were civilian, Commonwealth public servants, if you like.
Yep.
Mechanics and the other 40% were military.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I there as a junior officer, obviously,
Yep.
and I got such tasks as duty officer, where I had to make sure all the soldiers were doing the right thing.
Yep.
As first aid officer,
Yep.
someone hurt themselves.
Yep.
As physical training officer, I used to take the soldiers for marches or runs around the perimeter or around the streets around the camp.
Yeah.
And occasionally I got the job assistant workshop manager. Anyway, I stayed there for the rest of my 2 years.
Yep.
And my officer commanding wanted me to stay in and go in the army permanently. But my dear sweet wife, a brand new wife of 6 months, your mum, persuaded logically not to go in the army. So I went back to Sydney with her and resumed my old job. Yep. And that, my friend, that's
the story.
So that's my story, yeah.
And this
is that enough for you?
That's good. This Anzac Day you're going to march?
Yes, I'm going down to Bowral, where I live.
Yep.
I'm going down as a guest. I'm not a member of the RSL there yet. I might join them. I don't know. The sub-branch has invited me to march with them. So that's what I'll be doing at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. After that, I've been... Sorry?
Why is it important to you to march? Yeah. Why is it important to you to march?
It's one of those things because Dad would never march. He would never wear his medals. He, like a lot of servicemen, just wanted to forget the war. And medals were a symbol of the war. I want to wear them on Day as a matter of respect for Dad, to show him and show the world what he did, what he gave for the world.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm marching on Friday.
Mm.
And then I'm going to, after that, sponsored by, well, then had to pay for it, of course, down at the local bowling club, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That's where the soldiers are having their lunch.
Yeah.
So, I'll get to meet up. I'm sitting with an ex army captain,
Yep.
retired,
Yep.
and widow of the former um, major, and also the padre.
Oh,
I
very
think there's
good.
6 of us.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
very interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he can tell me all about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Excellent.
that's basically it, I think.
Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you,
Do you
Dad.
have any?
No, I think you've covered it all. I want to thank you for your service as well this coming
Oh,
Anzac.
thank you. I didn't do much, but I was always there prepared.
Yep, you did more than a lot of people. So
Oh well, yeah,
let's finish with Lest We Forget.
yeah. I think I made the most of what I was given as far as national service was concerned
Yep.
by getting my commission and becoming a second lieutenant.
Yes. Yep.
That's yeah.
That's something to
So
be
that's
proud
it.
of. Yeah, something to be proud of. Yep.
Something. Well, sort of, or to forget. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very
Anyway,
much, Dad. Thank you very much. And enjoy Anzac Day. And lest we forget.
lest we forget it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.